Hey guys, my name is Evan and welcome to Country View Acres. So I've spent several days now trying to expand our pig pasture or our pig area, and typically what we have had we've had from right about here all the way down to that area over here, and they had, I don't know, about a half acre somewhere in here in this trees that they had, and we're going to expand it, and we're going to do this in like two parts. So the first part of this is we're actually building like a pig pen, like a hard-sided pig pen. So we've got some hog panels here, and we're trying to get this fenced in for when the pigs are younger. But then the rest of this area is all electric fence, and it's going to run down where it originally ran, but then it's actually going to come back here behind the compost bin and behind all this equipment back here. And we're going to have all this area back here for the pigs. So it's going to roughly probably double in size. And so that's what we're working on. But first we want to get this hard fenced in area done. And the ground in the summer is so hard that it didn't want to drill. So we've poured some water in these post holes. We're going to hang a gate here, and this is going to be a permanent area. But while we're waiting for the holes to soften up so we can drill them out with the post hole digger, we're going to go ahead and start putting our water and feed trough in here. So here is what we water the pigs with. This is a 55-gallon drum. It's got these little waterers on the side where they can bite down and get water out of here. We got different heights on here for when they grow bigger, they can get to the taller ones. But you can see where the water has ran down on these. We need to fix this because it leaks, but they also just bite down on here and let the water run out. They make a huge mess with water. So I'm thinking about setting this on some concrete. So we're gonna move a small concrete pad. We're gonna set that down over here and then put the water on top of it. Well, that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted the water to run backwards and out of the pen. So I think we can put their pig water right here on this concrete. We'll probably drive a T-post in the back, put a strap around it to help keep them from sliding this around. And we're gonna go ahead and try to seal up these waterers so that they don't leak. We're gonna put a float in the back so that it auto-fills. So I just went ahead and I took one of these drinkers out of the 55-gallon drum, and these would always leak where they attach to the drum. So it's a bulkhead fitting that this is in, and it's got a rubber gasket and a nut on the inside, then it has a rubber gasket and like a little washer on the outside. And you'd think with two rubber gaskets squishing against that 55-gallon drum, it wouldn't leak, but these always dripped. And the only thing I can think is that it didn't seal around maybe the threads. So I'm gonna go ahead and I've got some pipe compound, some like Teflon pipe dope, and we're gonna put that all on the threads, and we're gonna put these back together and see if that will help these from dripping. So some of the rubber gaskets were squishing out when we tightened it down, so I've decided to just make a washer to put in there. I didn't have a drill bit big enough, so I just stuck it on the lathe and bored it out. So we'll put it together with these on the inside. Hopefully the gasket will seal better. All right, we got a washer on there, pinching our gasket. Hopefully that'll seal. So this is why the height of this bottom drinker is where it is, because that's as far as my arm will reach. So I bought a Job float valve, and the way this one's set up, the float is directly attached, and this is made in this configuration to go at the top of the tank. So we're gonna go ahead and drill a hole in this barrel and install this inside. All right. It doesn't fit. We got like a little hand hole in here so we can reach through, and because this is like a fixed lid barrel. It doesn't have the removable lid, and that doesn't fit. So it looks like we're gonna have to cut the hole a little bigger to get this in. Okay, that fits. So this is a garden hose adapter so that we can hook up our garden hose to autofill the tank. All right, we got the garden hose attached and the valve. It's in there filling it up. So we're gonna get it full water. We're gonna make sure we don't have any leaks, and then we're gonna bleach this thing out so it's all nice and clean. All right, the water's shut off. It's about 4 inches from the top. We'll go ahead and bleach this out. I'll clean all that algae out of there. So while that's bleaching out, we're gonna go ahead and get their feed trough put in the pig pen. So this here is the feed trough we've used for the last, I think, 3 years now. So we normally anchor this to the ground with like a big 12-inch galvanized nail, but I couldn't find them. So I ended up making some stakes out of some rebar, and I just welded some washers to the end. That board's split. May have to replace that board one of these days. Wow. That'll work. That's secure enough to feed the pigs. So this hole right here, all the water is already drained out of it. So we're gonna go ahead and put the post hole digger back in here, see if we can at least get this one to drill out. You can see this one only went down about 4 inches. We'll put a little bit more water in that. So I went back to the garage and I grabbed this. This is a probe, and this is something that you would like push into the ground when you're digging to try to find like a water line or to make sure you're not gonna hit anything. I'm gonna try to poke this down in this hole. I'm gonna try to see if I can make some pathways for that water to like get down there deeper and, you know, hopefully soften up this soil. But at this point in time, I'm kind of I'm willing to try anything about now, just to try to get this hole to auger out. So the ground is so hard, this probe, oh, I just bent it. Put a kink in it right there. Oh man, the ground's so hard. Like this won't even poke in the ground. If I put my whole weight on it, I just bend it. Oh man, it feels like I'm only getting that to go in maybe 3 inches. Well, I'll be honest with you, I don't think that that's really going to help at all, but I'm going to try anything right now. I guess I'm just going to have to wait and be patient and let this soak in. So it's been a couple hours now. It's been bleaching out. There's a little bit of debris in there we need to wash out, but there's no more algae. So I think we'll rinse this out and take it over to the pig pen. I think that'll work. It's an old strap that actually one of the hooks is about to fall off of it, so good way to repurpose it. And since it's a junk strap, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off. I may regret this. There we go. Man, this this pig pen, we're building it right on top of where a shed used to be, and there's junk everywhere. We even got like wires coming out of the ground where some old power used to run. Oh, what is this? Well, it's an electrical box. And there it is. You never know what you're gonna find in the ground around here. And that looks like a little disconnect. Probably like one you'd have on your air conditioner. Looks like a landscaping timber. I think we got a concrete block. Yep. Yeah, this old shed sat here. I think there's, I mean, that's bricks. Look, there's a whole line of bricks right there. See that? Yeah. So I don't know if that was what that was. That's just a part of the foundation that the shed sat on. But there's bricks all through that. I think it's just a small square of them. It's probably what the shed used to sit on top of. All right, it's the next morning now. Both holes have drained of water, so I'm gonna go ahead, try the post hole digger again. Hopefully we can get these drilled and get the gate in. Well, I think we're only about 2.5 feet deep now. Let's go ahead and try the other hole. Well, this isn't why it's not digging. This just happened to be beside it. Man, that's a big, solid, just solid piece of concrete. Man. All right, we're just over 3 feet deep, and that took everything to get it that far. I would have liked to have had it deeper. I'm not giving up. I'm just saying this is going to be good enough. Okay, I'm giving up. We're putting in a post. All right, I think I finally got the pig pen fence and gate put in. Boy, that gate was killing me, man. These fence posts, trying to dig holes in the summertime is just, it's horrific. It's terrible. And finally got them at least 3 feet deep, and I'll call it good. So let's go ahead and walk around. We'll look and see what this looks like. So right here, we've got a 10-foot gate opening. Hopefully we can back the trailer up to this and load the pigs when they're ready to go to the butcher. This is, we got our feed trough right next to the barn, so that our feed will be right there in those barrels, and we can come out here and feed them. We'll have the water hooked up to the water hydrant over here at the barn. The pig pasture, of course, is going to go down that way. It's still got a lot of weeding to do around the electric wire. So here's the backside of the pig pen. So it's basically 64 feet long around in there. And then it is about 24 feet wide. So plenty of room. Well, the pigs are little, and we're talking like, you know, 30-pound pigs or less probably. And they've got some shade in here. We still got to get a hut, like a shelter. So we're still going to build a shelter. And then the electric fence comes through here. It all needs weed eated down, but you can see, like, here's the electric fence buried in here. So the electric fence comes through here. It's going to still come through here, but we're going to turn, and we're actually going to go this way. And the electric fence is going to go around this way. And then the electric fence is going to turn, go back here to the back of where the carport is with the tractor in it, and then turn back toward the compost bin, back to the pig pen that we just built. So this is all the new shaded area that they're going to have. This is going to be pretty shady. There's a lot of junk in here still. We've never tried to clean this out. And right here actually was a big burn pit at one point in time. It looks a little humped up right now because we filled it all in. But they used to have a big pit here where they were like burning their trash. It was about 4 feet deep, and we filled that in right here, but we've never messed with that. So hopefully the pigs will clean that out and make a pretty good, nice area in there, and we can pick up all the trash after they go through and dig around. But the pig pen area is going to be twice as big as it was before. So we still got all the electric fence to do and get it strung around. We have a shelter to build so that they have a little shelter inside of the pig pen itself. Now there is an existing pig shelter that you can't see. It's back there in the brush, but there's another pig shelter in there. And that's typically the one they would always use, but we got to give them something for when we're in here. And when we're ready to open them up to the big pasture, this is a half a panel right here. We're going to take that out and just open this end up so that they can roam the whole thing. And I think it's gonna be pretty nice. So we're getting 3 pigs this year, doubling the size. So I think the way this is, when we double it, I think we'll be pretty close to being able to maybe run 4 to 5 pigs in here if we wanted to. So we'll just have to wait and see how that works out, but definitely gonna be big enough. And I think this is gonna be the final phase. I'm trying to set this up more permanent this time. And I may eventually put wooden corner posts in everywhere the fence turns so that I can keep the electric fence a little bit tighter. Anyway, guys, I think that's going to be it for today's video. This is at least part 1 of 2 or 3 parts. So we've still got to build a pig shelter for in here, and we may tear down the old chicken run over there and by the wood pile, and tear that down and repurpose some of that for a pig shelter to put in here. And then we've got to clean out this electric fence and expand it so that it goes, you know, all the way around behind where we store our equipment in the compost pile. So I'm not sure if that'll be 1 more video or 2, but I know in the comments I'm going to get a comment about the gate. You always got to try to predict the comments. So I know somebody's going to say I should have put the gate on the inside. That way the pigs, when they push up against that gate, they'll be pushing up against the post. And I understand the reasoning behind that, but what you don't see when these pigs get in here is they're going to root up that ground, and they push this dirt all around, and they end up piling it up like onto the fence. And these fence panels will end up being like buried 6 inches in the ground just because of all the dirt that they will shovel up and push on top of it. That's why the hog panels were so hard to pull out over there. They were in the dirt. And that's what will happen to this gate. They will push dirt as they root up this ground. They will push that dirt up against that gate, and you won't be able to get the gate to swing in. That's what's going to happen. So I think it'll be better to swing out. If we need to get in there, it'll open for us for sure. And hopefully we can swing it out against the trailer and get the trailer backed in here and load them up, and still try to keep this a secure area, you know, using the trailer and the gate together. We'll just have to see how that goes when we go to load the pigs. But anyway, we're getting 3 pigs this year. At least that's the plan. Should have them here in another week. So I think they'll still be small enough that they're just going to be in this small pen for now, and we'll get them trained up on electric fence, and once they get bigger, we'll put them out into the bigger area. So this area right here was the important part. We had to get this done in time before we got the pigs. So now we can go ahead and start working on the rest of it. But I think that's it for today's video. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys had a great 4th of July, and I'll see you in the next one.